Some ironic, harmonic, invading comets. You wanted a paralytic, a mystic, an unfortunate piston. Balance of panic is fading to a number of planets who granted a breeze besides all the peril it landed. A woman standing has landed upon a valley, reminded of broken homes and breathing in the bitter Atlantic. We roam, illuminating and fading, the colors remaining and celebrating bandages of delicate hate. The center painting is an image of constellation stations. Patience has no place or taste of grace, and relating to races and the color of cases. Constant waste of space where the battered and the brave say we have got it backwards. Is not the answer. Has said it after reason screams out loud. The crowd reaction wants satisfaction. Your calm collection, deeper sense of doubt. If lust is pastime and trust is asinine, the rust of material excuses what you can't find. Blind to the error of your ways, dime by dime. In hindsight, the truth is in the fourth grade. Is it black as the night? Is it bleak? Is it bright? Is it centigrade or Fahrenheit? Shine thine eyes upon the weakest soul. Comfortable is the role of the idiot to oh god damn it. Is it blasphemy I've landed? You do nothing with your fake shit and leave the wounded stranded on your throne. You accuse me of a crime unknown. You without sin can cast the first stone.
All right, welcome to Udicci Presents Udicci. This is part 4 on the night. If you're actually just joining us in the studio, come on in, take a seat. Really, don't be afraid. You can just kind of listen in, kind of go with the flow, watch the TVs when we go to media, you'll get that. If you're joining us from here in Rochester land or around the country, thank you. And if you've been a part of watching Udicci over the past 6 weeks, you know that we've been working kind of for this night to kind of launch something special, and we are going to be talking a lot about Citizen 585 in just a bit. But for those that don't know Udicci, I'd just like to kind of introduce ourselves. We are a technology startup company. We started about 5 years ago, and we've been working to develop a social media platform that actually is used for economic growth to help overcome poverty, not only here in Rochester, but around the globe. It is actually our goal to help end child sexual slavery around the world, and we decided that we were going to take aim at what we feel is one of the biggest catalysts, one of the biggest evils, and that is the poverty. It's some of the stories that go behind why children are sold into slavery are absolutely ridiculous, and you start to think that if we can fix that through simply kind of dealing with a financial and economic issue, we should do that. Now tonight during our presentation, you will actually hear some things that might be just a little bit uneasy. We're going to talk about revolution. We're going to talk about failed systems. We're going to talk about people who actually are dying. So it will be a little bit uneasy, but we want to tell you that we are committed to hope. In fact, if you look at our logo, you'll see that it says Udicci is Credito Spes. That's our best translation from an early Latin derivation, which means committed to hope. We do believe that there is good reason to hope, and we believe we have to hold on to that hope because there's plenty of reasons to give up, but there's always hope and we can keep moving forward. So that is who we are. My name is Chuck Levecchi. I'm the president. I am the CEO of this little startup, which means pretty much I wash the dishes inside of here. I clean the floors, which if you're in the studio, you know that those floors don't look so great. Behind the production is Tim Massline, our president of the company, and you'll hear other names thrown around, and those are just a whole bunch of the other community relationships that we've been working on over the past few years. Tonight, our big thing that we're talking about is the upcoming economic revolution, and for those of you who have not been paying attention, we actually do believe that we are on the catalyst of a complete revolution in our economic systems. It's not lost on any of us that we declared war on poverty in 1965, and today poverty is in worse condition than it has ever been, not only here in our own hometown, but around the globe. We actually see that war and famine are breaking out around the globe. We're actually seeing in this week's news that children are washing up on the shore. And if we think that we can just close our eyes to that, that's not a very good thing. Right, we have people in our own city dying because of poverty, and we have the capability, we have the tools in our hands to make a difference. And we do have to ask yourself that if all you're going to do is turn a blind eye, and walk away, what does that really say? Social media allows us to reach people in a way and make a difference in a way that's never been possible before. And we're going to talk about the power of social media. So we are here to say, what is going on? Well, one of the first things is we just kind of cannot buy into the idea that economies are supposed to bring prosperity through debt. I don't know, does that really make sense to anybody? I mean, could you imagine sitting around a table going, hey, you know what we need to do to make more money in this world is we need to create more debt? I mean, just common sense says, no, that makes no sense. Yet for years and generations upon generations, that's exactly the model that we've talked about. If you follow what we talk about on social media, that's Keynesian economics. And we're not going to go into a long kind of economic type situation right now, but it basically says this: when people are out of work, when things are bleak, borrow money. I mean, come on, could you imagine that? If our house was going into foreclosure and our car was about to get repossessed and we were to say, we want prosperity, honey, let's run down to the bank and get more debt. If it doesn't make sense for the family, how does it make sense for our communities? And yet that's what we're doing. Every time we see an economic slowdown, the world says, more debt, we need stimulus. The problem is we've reached a point in time where we are unable to sustain those debt payments. Now you might sit there and think, we live here in America, everything's really good. Well, that's all wonderful, but if you've watched the news at all, you know that Greece is kind of teetering. Puerto Rico is kind of teetering. The world is kind of teetering. And you ought to get a really kind of nuts idea of what's going on. One bank in our country has on their balance sheet 10 times the value in derivatives of the entire world's economy. Now, can that even make sense? One bank has on their balance sheet 10 times the value of the entire world's economy. Of course, more debt makes sense. Let's talk about that debt thing. Last year in America, 2014, we paid $229 billion in debt. There's 46.5 million people living in poverty in the United States. So if we break that down, that is $4,900 for each man, woman, and child living in poverty in America that we paid out in interest. Now I know. You know, all you good Keynesians out there, you're going, great, that money was paid back into the community. No, it wasn't. China and Japan hold most of our debt these days. So that $299 billion didn't go back to the community, it went overseas. And I'm going to tell you, I'm thankful and grateful that people overseas have jobs. Because if there is poverty anywhere in the world, children are getting sold, and I can't stand for that. But the problem is, if I can't take care of the people at home, how can I say that I can take care of somebody else? Our system is broken, and we need to make a change. We're at the cusp of an economic revolution, and we have the capability of leading that. We, the people, have the capability of leading that change. Now, how do we lead it? We start working together. Yes, do what you're talented at. Yes, get out there, stand up on your soapbox, but just stop talking. Get out there and start doing. That's one way. Now, we understand it's not easy to kind of get together and connect with one another. And how do I connect this dot to that dot? And how do we move better as a team? Because if we were a football team, we'd each be playing our role and we'd be moving down the field together. And each of us can play our part, but quite frankly, how do we do that? Show us the social media system that ties us all together. Well, welcome to Udicci. That's what we were developed for. That's why we are here tonight. We're here to talk about we the people. And I won't get into we the people, which is Citizen 585, without simply reminding you of the power of social media. We've seen entire countries go through revolutions largely because of social media. We're seeing laws change, lives change. We see people's lives destroyed, unfortunately, because of what happens on social media. And if we don't believe, if we can use social media to have revolutions and destroy life, certainly we can use it to uplift life. Mankind always rises up in love, and it's time to do it again. So we're going to talk a little bit about Citizen 585, because I've simply heard it said this way: if you believe that your light can shine throughout the world, it must shine brightest at its source. If we're to achieve our goal of helping end child sexual slavery around the world, we need to begin right here at home. If we think we can take on poverty over in another part of the world, then we need to take on poverty right here in our hometown. And it begins with Citizen 585. Citizen 585 is an initiative that began just this past month when a gentleman, Brandon Kirshner in Rochester, New York, decided to start a Facebook page called Rochester Citizens Against Poverty. Many people joined that initiative, and what very often happens with the Facebook world is it became this very active page for a couple days. And then all of a sudden people were spamming the page, right? And everybody's like, hey, we could do this, we could do that. And then it just became a lot of chatter and then not a lot of movement out of it. So we decided, you know what, here's our opportunity right here in Rochester. We reached out to Brandon, we reached out to others who were being active on that and said, can we get involved in your movement? And they graciously said, yes, please do. From that, they decided that one of the first things we could do as citizens is start to identify the technological needs that would help move it forward. And we kind of went through some plans on how to move those things forward. We have a church plan to get to our local churches, to get out and help the neighborhood churches. Not to go out and just try to minister to people, which I guess is exactly what we're asking them to do. We're saying care for them. Get out into the communities. Ask them, what is it you need? Do you recognize that so many people in our community, there are resources that can help them, but they don't know how to connect with them? So this team online said, we need a platform to help bring this together. So we're going to show a quick video about what they did. You see, what happened here was Brandon sat down, he got a couple people together, and they put up a whiteboard, and they said, you know what? If we could get a system that does this, this, and this, then I believe we could begin to make a difference, and we could start putting together some more plans. I will tell you, beyond just what you're about to see, we have a weekly phone call, a weekly conference call that's happening right here in Rochester, New York. We're just trying to ask the citizens to get involved. And that involvement can play many roles. That can mean you getting out on the streets. That can mean you just agreeing to share what's going on your Facebook page. I mean, honestly, can you share what's going on your Facebook page? Can you care enough to go, okay, you know what, I don't want to get out on the streets, but these people are doing it, that's cool. Right? Everybody can do something. So I'm going to have you introduced to our technology. When we come back, Tim Maslin will be right up with you.
Some ironic, harmonic, invading comments. You wanted a paralytic, a mystic, an unfortunate piston. Balance of panic is fading to a number of planets. Who granted a breeze besides all the peril it landed. A woman standing has landed upon a valley, reminded of broken homes and breathing in the bitter Atlantic. We roam, illuminating and fading, the colors remaining and celebrating bandages of delicate hate. The center painting is an image of constellation stations. Patience has no place or taste of grace, and relating to races and the color of cases. Constant waste of space where the battered and the brave say we have got it backwards. Is not the answer. Has said it after reason screams out loud. The crowd reaction wants satisfaction. Your calm collection, deeper sense of doubt. If lust is pastime and trust is asinine, the rust of material excuses what you can't find. Blind to the error of your ways, dime by dime. In hindsight, the truth is in the fourth grade. Is it black as the night? Is it bleak? Is it bright? Is it centigrade or Fahrenheit? Shine thine eyes upon the weakest soul. Comfortable is the role of the idiots of old. God damn it! Is it blasphemy I've landed? You do nothing with your fake shit and leave a wounded stranded on your throne. You accuse me of a crime unknown. You without sin can cast the first stone. As if the party never stops, we're blasting 1400 watts. It's late in the game, but we still demand our props. I'm breathing fire like Godzilla. Ounce for ounce, we're cooking pasta from gorilla. Killer monsters, imposters, and rosters with big flames at their concerts. Your engine's idle cause you trade names at the altar. And it's like a science as we grow up, like lost appliances from aisle 3 that somehow just show up. We mask infinity and all lack the humility, and cause a shipwreck of a massive instability. All of these pieces not to be found, like my last phrase in a thesis. Having me
You're gonna kill. Oh, there you go. All right. So Udicci delivers social solutions, and for Citizen Connect is what we're calling it. For the Citizen 585 Poverty Initiative was actually developed to connect the people that are in need, the citizens that are out in poverty, experiencing poverty every single day, to give them a way to connect with with other organizations, businesses, churches, whoever can help them, even other citizens that can help them, and whether it be mowing a lawn or transportation or anything like that. LJ Fullerton, she's been offering out a lot of challenges to businesses, and she's really pushing people in this in the direction. We want to give the system to be able to support these challenges. So when we brought this to, when we actually pulled this together, and we were looking at it, it really does work on many levels. So we have the healthcare, we have transportation, education, and that's all of the ways that we can connect organizations and the citizens that are in need of these services. Now, some of the other things that we can do, we actually have PALMS, which is Professional Life Management System. And PALMS is actually made specifically to help with the goals, setting the goals, and then managing the plans to actually that we're executing in order to be able to initiate some of these poverty initiatives. And what we're looking for is other people to get involved. So if you go out to Udicci.us and actually click on engage, you can engage to be part of this initiative and help us connect to other community citizens, help us to understand what is in need out there. Share your voice, share the perspectives that are out there so that we can see what's going on and we can help these people. Some of the other things that we're actually want to be delivering financial literacy through media that's targeted towards specific content, and not only financial literacy but other things, small business management, tools for marketing, tools for just life in general, self-improvement, and personal growth is community growth. So what we're looking to do is to get a lot of people out to the site, engage. It's actually, we're calling it a roll call because we want people to come out, engage with us, help us. We have to help the community, and we have to start here in the community because that's the best place we can help. So please join us out on Udicci.us or come down to the Studio 252 at the Hungerford building, and we'll be here. So we're looking forward to meeting you.